So, you want to learn how to attract a specific person, and you saw this title to this live, and you know that you love vampires just like I do. Well, you are in the right spot, my darlings, because I am going to talk about how to use the tools that vampire stories, vampire lore, and all things vampire can help you to become the irresistible one toward these vampires. What do we want to say? Victim is sad sounding, so I almost said victim, but you can become that main character energy, that irresistible woman like Sookie in True Blood, or Bella in Twilight, or fill in the blank, any vampire movie. And this is such a fun discussion for someone who is obsessed with all things vampire. So I am excited to talk about this with you, my darlings, okay? Now I'm looking around. Ah, there it is. And it's not in color, but this is the workbook that I have to go over with you, my darlings, a little bit because, as some of you know, a lot of people are starting to sign up ahead of time. The pre-sale for Vamp Vixen is open. So if you want to jump in and save a bunch of money before it goes live on October 1st, you can, okay? So let's talk about this a bit, my darlings. I talked about this on my latest podcast episode, but Module 1 talks about the turning. Now, most of you know that the turning, when you're talking about vampires, is when a human turns into the vampire character, right? So I love this when we come to talking about feminine energy, or when we're talking about anything having to do with romance or love, because there's something just so amazing and juicy about going from a human form into this immortal character, right? And I think of that a lot when I think of my darling clients and students that I work with that want to go from being this sort of meek, woman who's maybe anxious and chasing after guys into this place where you are the irresistible woman that these men, just like the vampires in the movies, cannot get enough of. They just want to be close to you. They're drawn to you. You become this irresistible person, this energy, when you can learn feminine energy. And especially if you lean, my darlings, more toward dark feminine energy, then I know that's probably why you found me, right? Because a lot of people talk about the feminine energy being like wearing pink all the time, or, being innocent and all of that. And oftentimes that is a beautiful feminine energy, and it's not to discount that. But a lot of times when it comes to vampire lore, or those really romantic vampire stories, that is how the woman is in the very beginning. But as she becomes more of her vampy self, she has boundaries more so, right? She has the ability to, fight back or speak up for herself and still stay in this very irresistible energy, right? So like I said, for years, I wanted to create a vampire themed love course, right? And have like movie trivia and all the amazing stuff in there. And now that it's going to be October, I was like, I have to do this. So that's why I created it. And the themes and the tools that you learn in that course, my darlings, They are not just brand new things that I pulled out of, my ASS, right? It's still my proven feminine energy tools, my, the structures, the healing work, and the worksheets, but it's themed in this more dark, feminine, edgy, amazing, vampy way for, again, my women who are like, I just want to be myself, and myself isn't this little prissy, super innocent, playful girl. I love to have boundaries and speak my mind. I want to take on this more siren, mysterious feminine energy than I want to be in that more stereotypical side of feminine. So if that's you, again, you're in the right place, okay? So, what I want you to talk about or think about right now, my darlings, is how in the past have you been in that chasing energy, right? That anxious, unsure of yourself energy. That energy is not the main female character in these vampy movies. You don't see her chasing after the vampire, please like me, please, right? You see her be desired and irresistible to him. And it's not by chasing after him, it's by her really embodying her authentic self, right? By really having this grounding within herself. Now, as I say that, one instance, so any Twilight fans out there, my darlings, let me know, like, heart the video if you are like me, super Twilight fan, right? Now, Bella, in that movie, you do see her go into her anxiety a bit. You do see her because she really feels attracted to Edward, right? She really does feel attracted to Edward. But you will also notice that she does pull back her energy, right? She feels her emotions, she goes into that feminine energy, and she doesn't, freak out and chase after him. She just talks to her friends and notices that he's pulled back and she pulls back, right? So I want that to be a prime example. Lynette's like, I'm a Twilight fan, love it. Okay, I want that to be a prime example so that you can see a great example of what to do to be in that feminine energy, right? Allowing that space, okay? It's very important to remember that. It's not like you have to do this thing perfectly, learning to be in feminine energy when you've been chasing or overgiving or people pleasing your entire life, embodying a new energy where you're more in your dark feminine, where you're more mysterious, where you're allowing the space if someone's making it clear that they need it. It can feel very uncomfortable, okay? And that's part of what we address in the work that I do with you, okay? Because the more you are able to embody this new version of yourself and be that Vamp Vixen, which I can help you do, okay, the more you will be able to attract those very sought after guys that you're really into. And in the past, maybe normally they would give a lot of interest in the beginning and then they would pull away and you'd be frustrated and send paragraphs, right? And do all the things that I want to teach you not to do, okay? Now, this isn't only meaning women versus men, right? Because we all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So I have worked with men, one-to-one clients, and oftentimes when they're in that anxious, wounded masculine energy and they're chasing after her and she's pulled away, they get the same feedback, right? So we don't chase someone that pulls away, my darlings. As a generality, if they're making it clear that they're pulled back, If you want them, if your goal is to attract and have them come towards you, then you've got to get your power back and you've got to allow them to come towards you. It seems like self-explanatory, but when you're in anxiety and when you have that sort of anxious attachment, sometimes you literally feel unsafe and you cannot do it, and you reach out when you don't want to, just to kind of get that Scooby snack, that validation, like, oh, they'll still talk to me at least a little bit, right? But every time you do that, you're giving them a little bit of the ick, because they can tell that you're basically using them to feel better. You're not allowing them space. You're not going, you know what? If someone's not coming toward me, I'm not going to go where I'm not valued, right? When you truly get to that authentic space, my darlings, is where you can actually become irresistible and attract. Okay? And that's the whole idea behind the Vamp Vixen structures. Okay? So make sure, again, it's pre-sale right now because we start October 1st. I know I'm so dramatic, but it's vampires. It's October, okay? We're starting then. So that's when the first module will actually drop. Right now, you can save a ton. It's 50% off what it will be if you pre-sign up, okay? But we don't start till October 1st because I love drama and vampires. So jump in if you can. And don't worry, you know, you'll be able to do the course over time. You'll have the videos in there. So it's not like you have to be on right with me, because you can watch it as many times as you like, the different modules. Okay? Lynette, happy almost birthday. I'm an October baby as well. I'm October 23rd, honey. I'm on the cusp of Libra and Scorpio. So, yes, perfect timing. Okay. So, my darlings, I am actually going to put this little mini training I'm doing with you into the course as well. Okay, as an added bonus, because I'm going over some stuff here, but there's actual coursework, EFT tapping, meditation, like visualizations in there. Okay, if you're watching in the course, you know this later, right? And then there's also two other courses included: Toxic Love Murder, okay, which was my last Dark Feminine course included, and the Marilyn effect, which is utilizing Marilyn Monroe's attraction, her tips. Okay, so that's what's going to be in there. I digress. So we're talking about being a Vamp Vixen. Now, I want you to remember this mindset, ladies. When you chase, okay, when you're chasing after a guy, when he has not reached out, and I don't care, ladies, okay, I've modeled since I was a teenager. I'm 45 now, right? I use filters because it just makes me feel better about myself, okay? So get over it. Sometimes a girl likes a filter, okay? And why not? We have them. Okay, anyways, I digress off my soapbox about filters are fun sometimes, okay? But what I want you to remember when it comes to when you're chasing a guy, reaching out, hey, just wanted to blah, blah, blah. When you do that, instead of having infinite, beautiful patience and emotional discipline that comes with divine feminine and dark feminine, when you chase even a little bit, you know what you're being? You're going to hate me, okay? You are being the guy in your DMs that talks to himself and just says, hey, hey, what's up? Hey, I like your new hair. Hey, I love the outfit. Hot, flame emoji. That's what you're doing, okay? Even when you chase a guy a little bit, because they're more sensitive to it. Us girls, we get used to it, right? you're all gorgeous. Look at you. I know you know. You have the guys in your DMs like, hey, babe, hey, 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 right? When you do that, it's even more ick, okay? You are not meant to be like, hey, I'm just wondering if you're thinking about me. Okay, no, that is not Vamp Vixen, okay? It's not cute. So every time you biatches, I love you, but that's what you're being when you're chasing a guy. Every time you go to text him first, ladies, or reach out in his DMs, or send him a reel, this reminded me of him. I want you to think of the dudes in your DMs, and I want you to remember my face saying, don't do that, okay? Instead, you know I'm right here, okay? And I'm sorry, but don't be that, okay? What you want to do instead, my girls, okay, my sweet sisters, I want you to realize that while you, if you're anxious, you do this. When you don't hear from him, you're thinking, oh, he's forgetting about me more and more. He's doing this. What's actually happening is the opposite when it comes to men. If they are interested at all, the more space you leave, honeys, the more it gives them the opportunity to close the gap and come towards you if they're interested, which is what we want. We want the guys that are interested, okay? If he couldn't give a flying F, we don't care anyways, right? Do you want to try to convince someone to love you or like you? What are you going to do, ladies? Are you bringing a bar graph? Hey, guy that's not interested in me, look, I made this graph for you. See here, attractiveness level, right? I feel I'm a high 7. This is like, what? What are you doing? Okay. No, babes. What we want is you to inherently learn and know your gorgeous worth and then allow the men and the suitors to come towards you. Now, we don't play games. I don't teach my lovelies to play games. And smart, like healthy, masculine men, they don't want games. They're going to be like, what is this, high school? Am I 16? No. What they want is a beautiful, amazing woman like you are who knows her worth and doesn't feel like she has to be like, oh, I had noticed you hadn't called me in 2.5 hours, and normally it's you would have called me by. No, okay, he's going to be like, whoa, she's going to lock me in and not let me ever do anything in life. What he wants to know is that you have confidence, you're easy breezy within yourself, you know your worth, and he would feel lucky to be around you, which is what you get when you heal that anxious attachment that you have within, okay? And that is doable. You can become secure. First of all, it's going to feel like pulling teeth where you're like, oh my God, I'm used to chasing and doing all this. We have to stop that flight or fight in your brain. That's the old way of living, the old patterns, okay? And I go into that in my membership in the courses. Well, Lauren, give us something. Well, it's meditations and breath work and hypnosis and all those things. So I can't just give it to you. I wish I could, right? I'd be like, I'd own the world if I could just magic pill it to you right now, right? But I do have the tools. They're practical tools that you use regularly, honeys, in a routine, and you do the healing work in the modules. It doesn't feel like work, right, ladies? It's beautiful, it's fun, it's girl talk, it's discovering yourself, it's discovering your passions, okay? When you do all that stuff, you naturally become your most authentic self. You learn your purpose, right? The reason I'm going to tell you right now, honeys, the reason you're so obsessing over these guys, one, you are avoidant also. I know you feel I'm anxious, he's avoidant. No, you are avoidant as well because you keep picking the guys that you can subconsciously tell are avoidant. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep running into this. You are attracted to those types, not meaning to be, okay? Because you, my gorgeous one, I hate to call you out, but I have to, you are also avoidant with different symptoms. That's what it is, okay? You're trying to get the validation and love only from someone that you know won't fully give it to you. So we have to heal you, and then you won't have this issue anymore. You won't freaking scare away those guys. They'll feel safe. They'll be able to come towards you. Or you'll just feel more attracted to a guy that isn't quite as avoidant, and he'll just blow that guy out of the water. Either way, you win. Hello, hotties. Either way, there's no losing with doing this work, right? Says makes sense. Yes, I'm glad, because that is the key. You're not a victim, ladies. You're not like, oh, I'm not pretty enough, and every time I like a guy, he runs away. No, you, my sweet ones, are attracted to people that you subconsciously can tell are avoidant, are in that wounded feminine energy that pull away. You can spot them, and then you're like, oh, I can just pour into them because they'll never get too close. I can be the martyr. I can chase them and then be like, why don't they like me? They never like me. So dramatic. Okay. And I love you all, and you're right in the right place. I'm teasing you because I've been there. Okay. So what we need to do, my darlings, is work on healing that. Your nervous system needs to be calmed so you don't freak the F out and reach out to them and send paragraphs or, post thirst traps 24/7 trying to get that little face in your story, right? Aren't you exhausted? I know you are. Okay. So if you want to heal that and become your vampy vixen self, then you're in the right spot, right? So if you're already in my membership, then you're working the self-concept course, okay? My membership, as you know, it's the Love Goddess self-concept membership. So that comes with so many courses, all the tools, right? The Vamp Vixen bundle is only dark feminine, which is also great for you to start there, babes, if you're overgiving, chasing, all of that. Okay, so you can pre-sign up for that in my bio right now for a huge discount. Okay, so I just want to make you aware. Go just check it all out. Okay, I'll let you just go check it out. Okay, babes, but that's what we need to work on. So when you're in that chasing energy, we have to shift you into that confidence and being chosen energy. Okay. I get too chatty. I've got to look at my notes here. Okay. The next piece of this is we want to make sure that you have a vision of your highest self, that Vamp Vixen self, so that you even know what you're embodying. Okay, my darlings? So part of the module is going to be going over that vision of yourself. Okay, and I see a couple guys in here. You could do this. You just have to be creative and switch the pronouns for yourself. Okay, but embodying that person that you're wanting to become, not the anxious chaser, right? But that Vamp Vixen that you're wanting to become. Okay. Okay. And we go into even what she's wearing, her style, everything. We go into all of that. Okay. And we have affirmations to go with it, all of that. Okay. We have rituals, I call them, because hello, it's a vampire themed everything. Okay. So you're going to see a lot of fun, vampy, vampire lore, movie trivia at the end, all kinds of vampire everything, okay? Okay, so what I also want you to be able to do, my darlings, is when you do this, when you become mysterious, when you do pull back your energy, they will begin to chase you. They will start watching your stuff. They'll come towards you. It's just, I'd be super surprised surprised if that ever didn't happen because it's so confusing, the energy shift for them. You have to know by embodying all this work how to respond properly, right? So that you're not just going right back into old patterns and they're running right away again. Okay, so throughout the course in Vamp Vixen, I have some worksheets, right, where you're going to get some options of how to flip your responses through text or otherwise, right? And any areas in any of my courses or the membership, ladies, my students will say, hey, this is really, I'm struggling with this. And when a few people mention it, I create a tool and add it, okay, to the membership or the courses, right? I want to make sure that if people are struggling with a similar thing, that you will get updates on that certain thing. Okay, so just know that. Okay, and you can ask questions here. That'll be helpful too, because then I can add it real time, from hearing you guys. Okay. Okay, so, and we do talk about, replying too quickly. And I'm not saying, again, we don't play games, you guys, but if you're literally staring at your phone for that person you like or anybody not living your life, again, it's very needy and unattractive. So there's a caveat to that. You can pretend you're busy and set a timer and not answer, or you can actually be going to classes, going on other dates, living your life, and actually be busy, which causes you to love yourself more, to feel more authentic, and to be more magnetic, right? Mysterious, that vampire energy, okay? So I want you to think about that. There's no need to play games if you are actually not being boring and have a life. Sorry to call you out, you guys, but if you're only obsessed with a person and not your life and legacy and passions, of course you're obsessed with somebody else. You're bored as F, right? So we go over all this again in my courses. I talk about cultivating an amazing life, okay? For example, I live what I tell you guys, okay? After I get off of here with you, I'm heading out to meet a bunch of my DJ friends. When I'm not coaching, my passion, besides my little boy, right, and my own love life, is my D&B music. I'm a drum and bass DJ. I'm learning to produce with one of the biggest drum and bass producers in the country, possibly the world. He travels, right? I'm doing my passions too. I'm not just sitting here coaching only or whatever. You have to find the things that make you feel amazing, ladies. You get this one life, unless we're reincarnated, but who knows if you would even remember that, right? You get this gift to go be freaking awesome. Okay? Look how hot and gorgeous all of you are. I assume maybe some of you are disabled in some way, and you would so love to be able to just get up and walk or go out there or hear or see. But if you have everything working on your body, honeys, and you are sitting around feeling sorry for yourself because some douchey guy who's probably peeing on a toilet seat didn't text you yet, because he's busy doing fantasy football. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to tease you, right? I mean, us girls are doing annoying stuff too, okay? But I have mostly ladies that I help, okay? But seriously, he's a human being, okay? Let's get out there, girls, and live an amazing, exciting life. Let's plan a trip. Let's look up the Michelin star guide and go pick the fanciest restaurant you can, call up your loved ones, get out there, go be amazing, post your hottie pictures, let's screech to the end of this life, right? Squealing tires like you sped through all this amazing excitingness. Okay? Is that dramatic enough for you? Like, let's not waste this. Okay? Jay, I love that. Jay said, I'm so grateful to have this beautiful body that is capable of movement. Yes, honey, right? We're all so blessed to have what we have. And if you only focus on this sort of douchey, hot guy, right? We're calling him douchey tonight. He'll get over it. Okay. If you're focused on him not texting when you have all this going on for you with all the wild stuff going on in the world, if you're not feeling so beautifully excited and grateful for what you have the ability to do right now, because it could all go away in a flash, who knows? And you're wasting it, baby, you've got to stop. Okay? It's not an attractive energy. You're all vamp vixens deep down, and that's what we're going to awaken through this work, okay? Okay, so I hope that lifts you up. I hope it empowers you, honeys, to do more than just be obsessing over that person. I promise if they're meant for you, you can't mess it up. You will call them in when you are your most amazing, authentic self. That's when they will come, or God and universe wouldn't have them pulled away from you, whatever your background is. I work with all ethnicities, all beliefs, everyone. Everyone's welcome in my space, okay? We respect each other here. So, whatever you believe in, if you truly trust and believe in love, in that the reason that you're not already with them is you're supposed to do something more right now. You're supposed to heal, you're supposed to discover something, and then it'll be time. Okay, babes? So if that resonated for you, my darlings, please again go to my bio. If you're in here, go check everything out. If you're already in the course, you already found it, right? Because I'm going to put this recording in there for my darlings. Okay, but I want you to remember this, that this is such a gift that you have, that you woke up this morning, that you're your gorgeous self, that you have the ability to do anything you decide to do. You really do. You could literally look up flights tonight to somewhere you've always wanted to go, but you're just like, oh, I'll never look up the price, write it down, and go every week. If money's tight, I'm setting aside this much because I'm going, right? You could change everything tonight, okay? That's how powerful you are, chicas. So no more feeling sorry for yourself. I won't have it. Okay? All right. I love you all. I'm going to go hang out in the VIP booth with all my DJ friends while they play some rowdy drum and bass tonight. I will be thinking of all of you. You better be doing something amazing and fun. All right? And I'll see you guys in my courses and membership. Love you, sisters. Bye. Bye, honeys. Bye now.